crew, and welcome back to Trenches. I'm your host, Milan Therese. On this show, we have unfiltered conversations with entrepreneurs in the messy middle. We dig into the experiments, defining decisions, disasters, pivots, and breakthroughs that shaped their companies long before the world was watching. Before we get into it, if you like this episode, which I know you will, please take a moment and like, subscribe, and share this episode to your group chat. Hey, crew, and welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire Questions at the Trenches podcast. Today, we are sitting down with Roopa Annadatha, the founder and CEO of Nomie, a shelf-stable organic pantry brand for kids and some hungry adults that heats up in just 10 minutes by adding water. So, Roopa, let's get to know you a little bit better with these rapid fire questions. This is the fun one, you guys. What are you watching right now?
Okay, so I actually love TV. So right now, the show that I'm watching is Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really good. It's with John Hamm.
Okay. All right. That's a new addition to our watch list, you guys. We got to add that. We got to add that. And what and who are you listening to right now?
So I'll say like what I'm listening to. So lately, I'm a millennial mom, so I've been on the 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&Bs, really going to the throwbacks. But that's what keeps me going. I love it. It's my work music.
I love that. I love a good throwback. It's been the rage of all of 2026 is definitely going back to either 2016 or even earlier. I
Yes.
think we're all starving for nostalgia, and I love that.
Yeah.
And what has been the hardest decision you've made in the last 90 days?
Yeah, so it was to move to a new co-packer or co-manufacturer that I was working with. So I was working with someone initially, and then I made the decision to move to another one just for multiple reasons. But that was probably the biggest decision I made in the last 90 days.
And that's a big one. And that is a big
It's
one,
huge.
especially as
Yeah,
you're creeping up on launch for sure.
exactly.
And what is something you wish more people knew about being a mom and an entrepreneur?
You're going to feel guilty all the time, and there's no balance. So it's just something that I've learned to just live with, and knowing that, the time that I do spend with the kids, like I'm trying to be as present as possible and not be on my phone, but the guilt doesn't stop, and that's okay. We're harder on ourselves than others are.
Yeah, your kids think that you're a superstar. So know that. Let that
Yeah.
sink in for a little bit. And while building your business, what has been the most expensive mistake that you've made thus far?
Hiring the wrong partner initially for our formulation for like our recipe development. So I was between a few and went with them because they were the cheapest across all. But again, you get what you pay for. And so I do think it's important to have and hire the right people and make sure that you're getting references and talking to others about them.
Absolutely. And during these stressful times where you're making all these big, expensive decisions, what is your emotional support item that you can't live without?
Oh my gosh, my ADHD meds. Can I say that?
You can say that. It's a truthful
Okay.
answer.
Man, I actually recently, like a month and a half ago, went back on it. I was off of my meds for about 3 years as I was pregnant, postpartum, pregnant again, postpartum. But it's definitely something I can't live without. It truly makes me feel like gets me to baseline to maybe someone that's neurotypical. But yeah, that's definitely something I can't live with that. And my energy drinks.
Yes. Oh, yes. You guys didn't see it, but she is drinking Kim K's newest collab slash partnership update. And I now have to go out to the store and buy update because now I have a personal review. So I get
I
it.
I I have to plug in because one of my besties has her own energy drink, Key, and it is made with ketones. It is like that's what lasted me this long to not get back on my meds. So I would say Key, anyone out there, especially mamas, get out there. It's amazing.
Okay. Look at the ketone drinks. We got it. We're adding that to
Yes.
the grocery cart. Yes. And what belief about work did you have to unlearn during your entrepreneurial journey?
Doing more is not helpful. There were times where I was trying to do too much, and then I was trying to create like a plan B, plan C, plan D for every single thing. And I had to really learn to just like sit back and just wait. Just wait for the response or wait for something to happen. My background in operations, like what in operations, all you're doing is putting plans together if something goes wrong, right? If the shipment didn't arrive, like what are we going to do? If the project timeline slips, an ingredient or the component didn't make it to the manufacturer, what are we going to do? So my entire work life was all of like, what if something goes wrong? What are we going to do? And as an entrepreneur, sure, that was great because I had backup plans, but like I was having so many of them that I was like hindering myself and adding stress to myself when there were times I just needed to like sit back and like let what I had already put into motion happen.
I feel that on a deep, deep
Yeah.
level. Deep level. I need to let that soak in for myself for sure. And what is a non-negotiable in your daily ritual?
So the one thing that I make time for myself over anything else is I do EFT tapping. So yeah, so I do about 10 minutes a day and you know, I'm a big woo-woo girly. So again, I have a very data-driven brain, but I'm also a big woo-woo girly. So I believe in manifestation, all of that. But the one thing that grounds me that I haven't found anything else is EFT tapping. And it takes 10 minutes, like even 5 minutes a day. So that's my daily non-negotiable ritual.
Ooh, I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of that technique and I've heard of a lot of people who use it. It came up in my therapy a few times and I definitely know it is helpful, but we haven't had anybody mention that on the podcast yet. So thank you for reminding me and sharing that with us. That is awesome. And if you weren't building Know Me, what would you be building instead?
If I was in building Nomi, I'd want to do something in the female space, like female health space. So something with either supporting postpartum moms or moms in perimenopause. I mean, the conversation around perimenopause is getting, really starting to increase. But that was something that I wish I knew all of the things I needed for getting into perimenopause. So yeah, definitely something in women's health space and or something with supporting moms.
I love that. That is amazing. I'm glad that you're building Know Me, but I also love that you would still be in the women's space no matter what, because you have a true heart for moms and for women,
Yeah.
whether that's through Know Me or through a different venture. That is truly where your heart is calling you. And I love that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rupa, for joining us on Rapid Fire Questions today. For all the crew members out there, please go follow Nomi at Get Nomi on Instagram and join her waitlist at getnomi.com because Nomi will be launching in just 60 days, you guys. It is incredible and amazing. So, Rupa, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. You will always be a cherished friend of the podcast. And for the crew
Thank you all.
members, we will talk to you next week. Don't forget to follow us on Apple and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Your likes, comments, and ratings make such a big difference in improving the show for each and every crew member. Also, if you're not already, come and join us on TikTok and Instagram at Trenches the Podcast, where we don't just share clips, we're creating a network of co-builders in the comments. Each post is designed to be a truly impactful addition to your scroll that will actually help you improve your journey in many different ways. Now, since you're already a part of the crew, this is how you step inside. By allocating to the fund on Patreon, you become a stakeholder in Trenches the Podcast and officially join our cap table. With access to private content, early drops, resources, and chats reserved for people truly in the work. Here is where you get the tools and the behind the scenes of what it really takes to get beyond the trenches. Your seat gives you direct access to contribute and make long-term decisions for our crew while finding community with fellow builders. It's time to take your seat at the table. Our mission is simple: make entrepreneurship less lonely. I'll see you in the next episode.